Joe Galarza. I grew up in East Los, or East LA, or this town called El Sereno. Um, Came out of being politicized in the sense of like punk rock music. Really made me aware of what was my surroundings at the time when I was growing up. From police brutality to like who's flowing into drugs in our communities, or just different things. Like bands like Crass and Subhumans, really like inspired me to question authority, or question things that felt weren't right, in my own community, or even if that, or just at a global scale, or even in the body of life that we live, And from that point on, I started getting inspired by that type of music at the time to really like shift me into consciousness, into like questioning anything that was wrong in my own community, and that's when I decided to kind of implement the indigenous element, because it came back to recognizing my identity. If it was so like a lot of my work, my paintings really focus on the collapse of the so-called Western civilization in a sense, or even at the time during the 80s, like within punk rock too, like we came from the Cold War era, Russians, coming in, the nuclear threat and all that element of politics, within the Reaganomics at the time, or Reagan, that era, I guess.
There was a band called Reagan Youth, right?
Yeah, of course, Reagan Youth too, definitely, of course, But, from that point, I started trying to, like, record a lot of the Mexicano cultural bases, like if you look at that painting called Pray, it's like an infliction of culture, of how they prosecuted us for just being who we were, and at least on this side of the world, of trying to maintain, if it's ceremonia or just certain things that, like if you look at a lot of my work, it has a lot of like medicine in it, like the coyote, and a lot of the corn element to it, which of course that's like a foundation of substance, of sustenance,
Sin maíz no hay país.
Exactly, si no hay maíz, no hay país, exactly. And for myself, I started, luckily I met up with this Apache guy that brought me into ceremony, and we started like, he took me under his wing, and his name was Pablo Lopez, and I stepped into this intertribal group called Xica-Indio, which was Iron Circle Nation, because Archie Fire Langer gave the collective, or the group that were part of an intertribal group, spiritual group that were part of Mother Shagleshka. We could go into the prison system and bring ceremony into the prison system, and so from that point on, man, that's when I started really like stepping into. That was like age 17, at the time, and I stepped into Big Mountain, which like the Navajo Hopi conflict that's been going on for quite some time already, others that I started learning from, stepped out of that struggle, that fight, and then I started stepping into it and supporting that, and then really making sure that Big Mountain is known. And actually, we're banned in Arizona, that song that you actually sang right now, or took the lyrics to, that song is banned in Arizona, just with like the books, like Rudy Acuña's book, or whoever, people that are educating, through literature, if it is, I mean, again, in Arizona, we're part of the Sound Strike. Actually, we're part of the Sound Strike with Zach de la Rocha and a lot of other bands like.
So you met Zach de la Rocha?
Have I ever met him?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean,
like as a person?
He's cool, man. He's a good guy. Yeah, definitely. You know, he does his work that he does. You know, and funds a lot of elements in Arizona right now. You know, of course. You know, especially with Con La Tierra and all those guys doing work over there and so on. It's like Nazi Germany live and well. You know, I mean, you know, putting our gente in concentration camps. You know, with pink underwear. You know, and giving them like food coloring food, thinking it's rotten and they don't even eat it. You know, like that's like a form of punishment. You know, and inhumane punishment. You know, and so of course we're always active in that, and everywhere we're needed and wherever we need to get to, we're going to use music because that, of course, art too. I mean, now that you've seen my art show and so on, but music makes a lot of bigger ripples in a way that we can really allow our message to get far and wide in a sense, right? Even if it's on a global scale, you know, and so on. So I think really the strong weapon is music, you know, to really make sure that the word can get out and be heard, you know. I don't know, I guess like Juan Deloria Jr., you know, I mean, God is Red, you know, that's a good book. That always inspired me to question John Trudell, you know, I mean, Tribal Voice, you know, like that's always been inspirational, even when I was a younger man and stuff, and questioning my place, you know, and all that. Well, of course, you know, like a lot of our leaders that have passed, like remembering even like Russell Means, you know, and Dennis Banks, you know, and Crow Dog, you know. What else? Of course, Cicados, you know.
Yes.
Orozco, you know. Not to say Diego either, but you know, I was really more inspired by Cicados and Orozco, but more Cicados because of how his political action always like took him to jail to just paying what he did, and really like risked a lot, you know, and put himself on the line, you know. What's next, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Right now, I feel that I need to establish my elements of art to survive, man, you know? It's a hard one, you know, but it's gonna come to a place now that I really gotta, like, think on my art as a form of self-sufficiency, man, because it's hard, you know? I mean, I'm an educator, actually. I do a lot of work in the prison system, actually, in juvenile hall system, and also after-school programs or just workshops with like teaching painting, drawing, carving, graph if it is, even graph, you know, graffiti and all that. So, I mean, that's what I'm trying to build right now. I'm trying to build my self-sufficiency of like trying to survive off my work, man, and keep showing and keep evolving. Sure. Well, more than anything, I just want to thank the spot, you know, and the Roots Factory to really have always like supported me here, you know, and really allowed me to really push to this place, to this level that I have pushed with my art this time around.